On Monday, me and my wife found out that she has cervical cancer. Then on Wednesday, just 2 days later, Hurricane Michael hit us hard. Today I said goodbye to my wife and my daughter and a couple of my nieces. They're heading up to Birmingham, Alabama. My wife's going to go up there, and Stephanie's going to have an operation to get rid of the cancer. It's Saturday right now, and for the past few days, I've just been in shock. This is big. This is big and bad. I make videos, that's what I do. And I thought I need to film a little bit around here to show you what Michael did to my neighborhood, to at least try to capture this moment right here, so that when we look back years from now, we can say that we were strong and that we stuck it out and that we were able to put our lives back together.
Eric, I live up in Jackson County, a place called Marianna, Florida. We live in the country. We have pine trees in the front. We had pine trees in the front and in the back. And this past year, I told my wife, I said, you know what? We need to go ahead and go and cut those pine trees and make a little money off of it. She said, no, I love it because of the shade. Well, Michael hit, and we don't have to worry about the shade anymore.
All the shade is gone.
Yes, it has. It has completely changed. We lived in what you would call a cul-de-sac, one way in and one way out. It took us 3 days to get out of there with chainsaws. And I thank God that we have, I've only knew maybe about 5 or 6 men in our neighborhood. But on that days, there was 30 men out there, and we cleared about 2.5 miles.
Did you stay here during the storm?
Yeah, we stayed here, my wife, myself, and son-in-law and 2 grandbabies. We was here, and start off with, everybody was just watching everything, videoing a little bit, and all of a sudden, it got serious. That window blew out, and we was running around. I had to get doors out of other bedrooms, and me and son-in-law was holding it back. The ceiling, to where that wall and the ceiling meets, everything was just cracking, and that whole wall was trying to blow in. But then, the eye come over, it kind of got sunny and quiet, and we come outside and looked, and all the siding on that side, the side here is gone. Just material things, everybody's alive and good to go.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're gonna do. It's breathtaking. But I have to say, by the grace of God, I'm grateful that I'm here and alive. I'm grateful to be alive, so it could have been a lot worse.
I'm safe, and we just got phone service. Yeah, yes, Earl. Yes, I just got phone service, and I've been staying home. Brenda said you guys Google. She said you was on your way, and she had to tell you not to get here yet. But I'm safe, thank God, I'm safe. And hi, my name is Shirley Weeks Spencer, and I survived Michael. I never experienced this. I've heard about it, and after Katrina, we knew the devastation. One of the military men who was at the shelter said he went to help with Katrina. Katrina had much more casualties, but he said Panama City looked like they had much more devastation. And coming from New York, I didn't think I would know what to do, but I'm an AARP member, and we have a hurricane awareness meetings where people come and speak to us. I looked at the books, and I was able to do. If a lot of people from Panama City, I know, did not leave. However, thank God they're okay. Their house might have been destroyed, but they're okay. But that's my story.
Well, today is Sunday, and I'm here in my house. The insurance adjuster is supposed to be coming today, and it's hard to be in here. It really stinks. It really smells. It's just foul. And yeah, it's gross. Yeah, hopefully, my wife told me there's a tarp crew coming to put a tarp on the roof because we got more rain coming. It's just really hard to be in your house when it looks like this. I'm not the first to experience something like this. This isn't the disaster Olympics there. I'm not trying to one-up anybody. Just confirm it sucks. This is horrible. But right now, Highway 231 is backed up as far as I can see, full of trucks with food, FEMA trucks, ambulances, big generators, vehicles I've never even seen before. I don't even know what they do, but they're massive vehicles to help people. And man, it just makes me so proud to be a part of this country, right? It sounds really stupid sometimes to get super patriotic or something, but damn it, these people in America, we care about each other, right? I know we fight a lot and we hate each other and we don't like this person or don't like that person for whatever reason. When something like this happens, it's that old thing, I can mess with my family as much as I want, but you better not mess with my family or it's a fight. And that's what has happened here. It's a fight right now and everybody is coming together. I'm overwhelmed by humanity right now. I am. It's a positive feeling. I'm gonna try to hold on to that. So the guy who's supposed to come here and put the tarp on my house, he couldn't find my house because all the road signs are gone. So I put my address right here, and I put the stop sign from across the street right here. Now I didn't rip that down. Hurricane Michael did, so don't come arrest me or anything. I did not vandalize public property.
We were in our guest bathroom when it hit, or we went in there when it hit, and it was terrifying. Never been through a storm like this. It was absolutely terrifying. And we stood early on and watched out our kitchen windows and saw all the carport and associated tool shed, etc., just peel away. Went bye-bye. So we ended up in the bathtub in our bathroom, and thank the Lord, this neighborhood has done fine. We have trees down everywhere. I don't think you can find a yard that doesn't have one or more trees, and we're one of those, but we have each other and our 2 dogs, and we're grateful to God for that.
This was one of the scariest things I've ever gone through. If they ever say category 2, I'm gone. This was horrible. We looked out the window and watched my pecan tree in the back. The wind laid it down. It's amazing that the wind could be that strong to lay down all of my trees.
And the trees in your yard are beautiful. You got grapefruit, orange?
I got grapefruits, oranges, a huge pine in the front. It just laid it over across the road. An oak tree that was a huge canopy. It's laid it over in the road. Pine trees and all in the back. We just saw the tops just snapped off of pine trees. But I cannot fathom how the wind just could lay down those trees that have been here all these years. In the house, I was in the hallway and then in my bathroom, back in my bedroom, while my daughter and my friend were the ones, every time something happened, they'd get up and go look. I sat there squalling the whole time. I'm sorry to say that my daughter has been a rock. She has been doing a lot of the cooking and taking care of stuff and telling me what to do. And I've been going right along with her because I have never been so scared. I will never, and next time Harbor Freight, when they get open, I'm going to own every tool they've got. I'm going to have my own equipment next time.
You see that mobile attic box right there? All right. This field over here used to be full of them. There isn't one left. There's probably 100 of them in there. They all flew away. You know, it came in as it's supposed to come in as a 2. We were scared of it, but it wasn't terrifying until it got here and it was a 4. It was rough. There were holes in the roof, you know, water dripping down. Both trucks, you know, you look at, you know, all your worldly possessions and everything inside looked okay. We're like, hey, it's good. Then you walk outside and, you know, your second most expensive investment you make beside your home, your vehicle's destroyed. But it was a nice little ray of hope. One of our neighbors was already out with his chainsaws clearing paths for emergency vehicles through the roads because all the roads were impassable. So, you know, just came back, grabbed some gloves, and went to work. And people we didn't know, neighbors that we have never really met before, were in our yard cleaning stuff out, moving it to the road. It was kind of pretty to see the community come together. We've got friends now that we never had. So there's good that'll come out of it. But our city got beat up. We on video.
We're on video.
How you doing? So you guys been all day long cleaning up. Yeah, I'm starting to clean up stuff too. It's crazy, man.
Sawing.
Yeah.
His idea.
This is how we do it in the panhandle. That's a fence panel. That's a sled. Pulled by a John Deere tractor.
It's a lawnmower.
Every John Deere is a tractor. That's all John Deere makes. Even John Deere chainsaw, that's a chain tractor.
Hey, check out the hitch on the tractor with the bottom. That's homemade.
You guys just bent that up.
We were snatching on the trees.
Wow. All right. That's how we do it. Those are my neighbors right there. They just made that happen with a sled. Oh, this is good stuff, guys. First shower since the hurricane. Here we go. Oh, it's cold. Feels good. Still really hadn't sunk in yet. As I was walking through the neighborhood and interviewing a few folks, you know, a lot of people didn't want to speak about it. You know, some of them said, you know, come back later, come back in a few days. I didn't pressure anybody to speak to me, but I don't know, it's real. It's big and bad, like I said before. But I did run into a guy who was chopping down some trees and stuff, and he spoke about some of the other places he's been doing this type of work. He talked about how bad this particular situation is. But he said, you know, keep your hopes up, because it's always greater later. I thought that was really good. I'd never heard someone say, you know, things are going to be greater later. And I'm looking forward to the greater later. now you guys are driving around handing out stuff. What made you want to do this?
God called us. You know, it's one of those things where you see other people that are down and out and hurting and need to be lifted up. It's what Americans should do. Come together and give when you can.
All right, what types of stuff are you seeing? What are the needs you guys are seeing?
Toilet paper.
Oh yeah.
Deodorant.
Water,
food.
ice.
Lots of your basic foods. Stuff you can eat, you know, without having to cook, boil water. That and just water in general.
Yeah.
And support.
Thank you guys for coming out. So why are you here, and who are you and why are you here?
Connor and I here, we own and operate Local Boy Services LLC in Sarasota County. And then Alec over here.
I own and operate Prevailing Wind Services in Sarasota also. It's this landscaping company, and we're just here to help out.
We figured you guys needed a lot more than they did down there, so we decided to come up here instead.
So this is just, you just decided to do it.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
You know.
A last minute thing, actually.
Just loaded up the trailer and just came and did it.
And you're not, from what I've seen, you're not trying to get money from people. You're not trying to hand out business cards, because this isn't even your market. You're not going to be cutting this grass.
Not at all. We're about 8 hours away from here, so.
Well, man, this is good. You guys got families? I mean, what do they think of this? You guys crazy? Are they backing you, or what?
Yeah, my mom thinks I'm crazy, but it's okay.
Man, this is great. Thank you guys for coming out, and I just wanted to, I thought it was a really cool story, so thanks.
I appreciate that.
All right.
How we can help.
I'm good, thanks. It is Monday and I am finally getting a tarp on my house. So this will hopefully stop the rain that's coming from getting into my house. So I had to remove that light fixture. It was like a globe, it was full of water. And I gotta do it on the front porch too because it's full of water. But water was even pouring out like a water hose through our smoke detector. You can see how dark and brown those spots are and stuff. And I just noticed that we got, there's peeling right there, the roof. Who knows how much further it's gonna cave in. The Megazord survived. One of the things I remember is that when Sela opened this door, when it started to rain in here, the look on her face was just horror, right? She said, "Daddy, all my stuff, everything." She cried so hard. We've recently just kind of gone through and grabbed everything we possibly could to take with us. But yeah, this is my daughter's room. The carpet feels much drier, but all that water is still down in there. It may have evaporated. I'm breathing it in right now, but up until today, maybe yesterday, this carpet was squishy. Just before the hurricane, Sela went outside and picked some wildflowers and put them in this glass vase that she made on a trip to Colorado. And it's, even though they're dying, they're beautiful. I want to give you a little tour of where I've been staying off and on. Some nights I've been staying in my mother-in-law's apartment, but when it's too hot, I set up a tent, and I want to show you what I got. So this is a big family tent that we had, and I've been hammock camping in it off and on. This gazebo lasted through the storm, so when we evacuated my wet, stinky home to come over here, I thought, man, that's a perfect place for camping. So I set the tent up. It fit perfectly inside the gazebo. Then I used a bunch of Canadian jam knots to secure the poles to the gazebo. If you've never used a Canadian jam knot, it's a lifesaver. It's a miracle. Just watch Joe Robinette on YouTube and he will show you how to make a jam knot. So I've been doing clothes out here, washing them in the bathtub, hanging them up, and they don't smell dry or fresh, but they certainly smell a lot fresher than they did when I took them off. I'll tell you that for sure. Water has been restored, so we're able to take a cold shower every now and then, but for several days there wasn't any water, so we had to rely heavily on deodorant. And in my book, there's no deodorant better than Old Spice Bear Glove. Ask for it by name. Bear Glove is love. That's what it is. It's love for your armpits, right? Love for all your stinky parts. Old Spice, if you're listening, I'd love a case of this flown in by helicopter. All right, back to the tour of
my campsite here. All right, so let's go inside the gazebo, the camping gazebo. Right now I have the windows zipped up because there's been the threat of rain. As you can tell, it's super foggy. Let me drop the exposure here so you can see the sun is right in the middle. I can see the sun, but I can't make out its shape. Well, there's a silhouette for you. Look at all those trees just snapped in half and all the needles just ripped off. Man. Okay, back to the tour. So I had to cut holes in the bug net to string my hammock through. And that's okay. I can repair that later or just get a new tent, or maybe not a tent at all. But inside here I got plenty of room. I have my bare butt hammock, which I'm so proud of. It's such a comfortable hammock. Got my chair over there with some toilet paper. That's not where I use the toilet paper, that's just where I'm storing it for now. It's very moist in here, but what I like to do is when I'm not sleeping out here to avoid the oven of being inside of a house in Panama City, Florida, I like to come out here, whoa, and get in the hammock and kind of pretend that I'm on vacation somewhere with like a fruity drink in my hand or something. Yeah, so that's where I've been camping during this time. You know, my yard didn't have any trees in it, and my neighbor's yard, I helped him clean up a bunch of trees, and but I'm just counting my blessings, right? I'm extremely fortunate. My home doesn't have a tree in the middle of it. It's wet, it's stinky, right? It's going to need to be restored. Sheetrock's going to have to be removed, but there's a lot of people that don't have anything around here. Our Air Force Base, Tyndall Air Force Base, lost 100% of its housing. Like everyone who lived on base, they no longer have a home. All of their belongings are probably, 30 miles down the road because the hurricane took them. I've been driving through town to do different things, get gas and get supplies, and all the trees that I grew up with here are gone. Every single road it just looks different, right? It's, you know how the landscape, like if you're driving through your town and maybe some forest gets cleared to make way for a new business, and how it looks the first time you see it, you're like, wow, what, whoa, oh, they took down the forest. Well, I'm driving through town and I'm having that moment over and over and over and over again. I'm having trouble sort of recognizing where I am because the landscape has just been shaved, just sheared off. Every pine tree is snapped. Every oak tree is ripped up out of the ground. So it's going to take us a while. I've heard reports, FEMA say that it could take as long as 2 years just to clean up the tree debris around here. That's how many trees are, like every single tree. As of right now, the death toll from the hurricane, I believe, is 16. I think that's bad. That's real bad. But you always hear people say it could have been worse, and it could have been worse. I hate it when people say, "Oh well, at least you're not dead," or "It could have been worse." But it's true, right? With as much property and life that we have lost here in Panama City and in the Panhandle of Florida, there's still hope, right? There's still a reason to keep going, right? We're alive. We have to keep pushing forward, and I believe Panama City and the Panhandle will be stronger, but it could take another lifetime. It could take 50 more years for this place to not look like it has been just wiped off the map. But yeah, this is surreal.
Information to you. There's so many that have never lived through anything like this. I mean, keep in mind the national news says this is what, the third strongest storm in U.S. history, and the worst that has ever hit the Panhandle.
That's right.
And we survived it, and we lived through it. Putting the pieces of a puzzle together.